I'm Mary Obana. Welcome to Shine. I'm all about friendly, soul-nourishing, spiritually inspired conversations that expand perspectives and offer practical guidance so you can live joyfully and shine brightly. I believe everyone has something special within them, a unique gift, a light you are to find and share with the world. You are meant to shine. I believe you have a deep knowing, guidance that is ready to serve you. It is always available if you listen. I believe you are meant to live with complete joy and peace, nothing less. It's just awaiting your allowing. Ready to get to it? Here we go. Hello. It makes me happy that you've joined me. I'm so glad you're here. As I meet people, I always enjoy hearing their stories. It never ceases to amaze me how our life experiences prepare us for our work, for how we are to contribute, to serve. It seems all the twists and turns, even the trials and tribulations, uniquely prepare us for where we are to be. There's always a thread. This couldn't be more true than for my guest today. Her name is Kannary Keo. Kannary was born in Thailand in a refugee camp. Her mother risked her life to get there, escaping a labor camp run by the Khmer Rouge in her war-torn Cambodia. Her mom's tale is a story unto itself as she slept in trees by day and ran by foot at night, all by herself, finally making it to the border. Kannary immigrated to the United States in 1983 at the age of 3. Her mom's experience and perspective would shape Kannary's understanding of herself and her place within this new land. But as you will hear, her journey would lead her to a shift within herself, discovered through hypnotherapy. And now she has found her calling as she helps others with this amazingly powerful tool. Here's my interview with certified hypnotherapist Kannary Keo. I hope you enjoy it. Hi, Kannary. Welcome. It's such a treat to have you here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I am so grateful to be here.
Let's start by having you introduce yourself for our listeners.
Sure. My name is Kannary Keo. I am a certified hypnotherapist, and I have 2 daughters.
So tell us about hypnotherapy. I mean, what is it exactly?
Okay, so it's not scary. It's not like stage hypnosis where you're going to feel out of control and have to listen to whatever the hypnotist is saying. That is not the hypnosis that I practice. Hypnotherapy is basically getting to the root of your challenge. I practice something called rapid transformational therapy, which is a combination of NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, parts therapy, and psychotherapy, and hypnosis. So that all together makes up rapid transformational therapy, RTT, which was created by the UK's #1 therapist, Marissa Peer. So I studied under her. But basically, hypnotherapy is a form of psychotherapy where you are in a heightened state of awareness. The best way to describe it is, we all want to do something. Emotion always overrules logic. If emotions didn't overrule logic, we wouldn't have crimes of passion, we wouldn't have murder, we wouldn't have road rage, but we're very emotional people. The logical part of us is our conscious mind, which is 12% of our mind. So if you picture an iceberg, the top part of the iceberg is your conscious mind, and that is in charge of willpower, action, to-do lists. But all of the emotional is our subconscious mind, and that's in charge of our long-term values, beliefs, all of our stored memories. Your subconscious mind holds a snapshot of every single thing that's ever happened to you in life, and it's all like a big hard drive or a big filing cabinet. And what hypnosis does is it reaches the subconscious mind. And the subconscious mind is 88% of your mind. It controls all of your outer actions. So when you say, I don't know why, I'm just not motivated. I don't know why I just can't force myself to drink more water or exercise, or why do I procrastinate? There's all of those actions are exterior, and everything that is controlling that is in the subconscious, and hypnosis is the only way to reach the alpha state of your brain.
Yeah, so I love what you said to me in a conversation. You said, your subconscious mind keeps records of everything. You just have to access it. So hypnotherapy really is this process of this method to access that which is in our subconscious, right?
Exactly.
So interesting. It's so fun. I was doing a little bit of research for this episode, and I came across this fellow. His name is Dr. David Spiegel. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a Wilson professor and associate chair of psychiatry and behavioral science, and director of the Center on Stress and Health, and medical director of the Center for Integrative Medicine at Stanford University School of Medicine. And he said, hypnosis is the oldest Western form of psychotherapy, but it's tarred with the brush of dangling watches and purple capes.
Yes.
In fact, it's a very powerful means of changing the way we use our minds to control perception and our bodies. This is real. So I thought that was really interesting, because I do think that hypnotherapy isn't something that's really a commonly understood thing. And so it can be quickly dismissed, when in fact it is really grounded in all this amazing research and science that this is real, this is really something that's going on, which I think is fascinating.
It is. That is brilliant what he said.
Yeah.
That is exactly what it is.
So these things that, people have struggles in their life, they're struggling with some of the things that you said. They're like, why am I, procrastinating? All these different things that we feel. And is the thought that the reason why this happens is because there could be something, particularly I'm imagining if it's repetitive, right? If it's something that's this pattern of behavior that is grounded in something that is deep within us, a belief or something. Is that what this is about?
That's exactly what it is. There is some belief that was imprinted on us when we were younger that we're still carrying with us. And it doesn't have to be anything traumatic. It can just be something someone said to us once, or we were brushed off on the bus, or we were excluded from a group, or we had to give a presentation and we felt very small.
So unconsciously, we're carrying this belief within us. Yeah. So I always feel like these things that happen to us in our lives lead us to the work that we do. So tell us about your story. I mean, what was going on with you, and how did you end up even discovering this whole world of hypnotherapy?
So for me, for about 20 years, I was trying to become successful, wanted to launch a business because I thought that would be the way that I could provide a better life for my family. So I went to all of these motivational success seminars. I did the fire walk. I took all the classes, attended so many seminars. I read all of these books, and I just tried for 20 years. I tried everything. And what was challenging was I just couldn't force myself to do it. I was very motivated at the time when I was attending a class, but when it came down to actually executing, I procrastinated, and I would push it off to Monday, and then next Monday would be Saturday. And then I just felt really down on myself. I really wanted to be more successful. I just couldn't execute. I couldn't do it. And I even called it lazy-itis. Why do I have lazy-itis? I had great intentions, and I got all the planners, made my to-do lists, and I'd be right there with my cup of coffee ready to go. And I just couldn't do it.
So you basically felt that you on this quest to be successful, to provide for your family, but you couldn't really get it going. So you signed up for these seminars, these inspirational seminars, motivational seminars, to really try to to see what you could be doing. Did you know what work you were doing at the time? Were you just the work that whatever it was you were doing, you just weren't as successful as you wanted to be?
Um, so I always had a day job, and it was just not going to propel me. So I always wanted to launch a business. I had this idea that I wanted to have a journal line. That was my dream, to have a journal line. But I always procrastinated. And I
Gotcha.
tried other things, real estate, and I just always procrastinated with
Gotcha.
whatever I tried.
I see. Gotcha. And so you went to these seminars and then okay. All right. So how did then that land you on the hypnotherapy? Did you end up going to something and learned about the power of hypnotherapy? How did that happen?
So one day I saw this success hypnotherapy program, and I signed up for it, and it was so powerful. I went back to the root of why I wasn't successful. I realized what was holding me back, and it was a belief that success wasn't available to me. I went back to a scene when I was 7 years old, and my mom said, other people can have that, people who have been in America for generations and generations, but that's not us. We just can't have that. So I was holding on to that belief. So even though I was trying everything and spinning my wheels, I didn't believe deep down inside that it was available to me.
So you had no recollection of that, right? In your
I had no
conscious life?
recollection. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So through this hypnotherapy, you accessed that
Yeah.
conversation. And it was then that you realized was at the root of what was
Yes.
holding. Wow. That's amazing.
Yes. I completely forgot about the conversation. And I thought it was, maybe I'm not working hard enough. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Why am I so lazy? And beating myself up about it.
Interesting. So is that a marker when you have a repeated behavior, kind of a flag? There's something that's a belief system that's holding you back that might be unbeknownst to you, right?
Exactly.
Consciously.
That's exactly what it is. When we make the same New Year's resolutions every year and we make the same goals and we just haven't followed through with them, there's a deep rooted belief that it's not available to you. I'm not good enough. I can't connect. That's it's for other people, not for me.
There's always something at the root
It's
of it.
always
That's
something at
so,
the root of it.
so interesting. Okay. So this was then this powerful kind of moment for you that you had this recognition. And then
Yeah.
what happened? So you, with that awareness, like what happened?
I released it. I reframed it. I'm not 7 years old. That's not me. It doesn't matter if you just got to America. I've released all of those beliefs, and that will never be me again. I'm an adult. I am capable. I have all these tools. So it's very empowering. And then I started taking action and signing up for courses and actually completing them, which is something I never did before. I was always a good starter, never could finish. There was no more resistance. I just went. I didn't
Wow.
say, I'll do this Monday, Saturday, Friday. I just automatically did what I was supposed to do. And I felt really good doing it.
Wow. It's almost like there's this key that unlocks something
Yeah.
and then you just are able to move forward.
Yeah.
And that's just unbelievable. That's really powerful. So that happened. So did you go back to your journal business?
I decided that if this could help me, I could help other people, because I know that there are so many people suffering with, I want to accomplish this or I want to do that, but why can't I just do it? And I realized this is the key to everything. When you can tap into your subconscious mind, figure out what's holding you back, reframe it, release it, you can have anything else on the outside: happiness, reaching your goals, starting that business, becoming your ideal weight, running that marathon, whatever you want to accomplish. A lot of us feel stuck. We feel like, I really want it. Why can't I just do it? Why have I been stuck here for, 1 year turns into 5, turns into 10, it turns into 20 years.
Right, right,
um,
right.
and then you're not living the life of your dreams, and you're unhappy and you're miserable and you know,
Yeah, and it doesn't need to be that way. It doesn't
it
need to be that way.
doesn't.
Okay, so we scrap the journal business. We're like, wait a second, I can help people If I
Yes.
could be helped by this, I could help others do this. So, how did that whole thing come about? Like, what was the first thing you did? How did that all kind of unfold?
I decided to use this on eating healthier and exercise and dropping weight. So I started with a beta test group of my friends and family. And these women started to have amazing results. The best thing was that it wasn't a diet, it wasn't willpower. It was, I don't feel deprived. I don't even want that junk food. I don't want to binge eat. I don't want to emotionally eat. And I don't need to fill that void anymore with food. When I help them reach their subconscious mind, we all know what to eat. We all know we need to exercise a few times a week. Why can't we just do it? Get to the root of it. I help them change the picture of that food, and I help them change their language, which is probably one of the most important things that I do. Your self-talk and your language. Whatever you tell yourself all day long, your mind believes. Oh, I gain weight just looking at food. Okay, we're going to gain weight looking at food. I can never exercise. I can never look like that. I can never be that way.
It's always so hard for me. It never works. Yeah, right.
Your mind is very powerful. Your mind controls your body. It tells your body what to do. If you say something enough to yourself, your body will follow and believe it.
It's amazing. Wow. So you did it with this group of women who had this amazing success.
They started dropping weight 20, 30, 40, 60 pounds, lowering their A1C numbers, coming off of certain diabetes medications, and feeling better in their own skin. And they said, you're on to something. This is completely different from anything that anyone's ever done, because you're using your mind and you're changing your language, your self-talk, and you're changing the picture, not just saying, eat this, eat that. And you're empowering women from the inside. So they started telling their friends, and then people started booking sessions with me. And that's how I started my practice.
I marvel because I remember in a previous conversation we had, something you said really stuck with me because I said, so how long do you have to work with your clients to get how many sessions to get the results, how many, months, years, whatever? And I loved you're like, usually one session or two, maybe.
Yes.
You said, because once you figure out what that thing is that's holding you back, it's
Yes.
gone. I'm like, what? That's fantastic because you're getting at the root. I guess all these things that we try to manage we're all managing it at the surface level at some point, right? And so we're not really getting to the root cause of what is really driving that barrier, that resistance to what it is that we want so badly. So tell me too, because I know that hypnotherapy is used for many things. And I know certainly weight management is something that within your own practice has been a big kind of personal thing that you've done and have done successfully. But tell me about some of the other things like performance, whether it's, your golf game or your business or anxiety. I mean, tell me some of the other ways that people can use hypnotherapy to improve the quality of their life.
Okay, so some of my weight clients also had anxiety. So I would give them a second session on anxiety, get to the root of that, create a custom recording for them. And then some other friends were having trouble with their golf game. So I regressed one of my clients back, and he went back to being a 10-year-old, trying out to be a caddy, and he did not get the job. And I had him reframe it and release it. That's not me. I'm not 10 years old. I'm not small. I am a 6'4" attorney now, very successful, and I can be calm on the golf course.
What was happening to him on the golf course?
He was having major anxiety on the golf course, and
Oh,
it was it was impacting him. He has to play golf often with his clients, and he just dreaded it every single time, and he didn't know why he wasn't able. He hired a golf coach to help him improve. He had someone for 10 years, but he just could never silence that voice and calm his nerves during golf. So we went back to some scenes and released it, and he felt very able and calm and not criticizing himself or feeling like he was going to fail. So this
Interesting.
can help with
That's so interesting.
sports visualization. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Silencing that critic and being very
Yeah.
calm. And then part of my hypnotherapy, I have in the recording, I have people visualize how they want to look, see, and feel themselves without this issue. So visualization is just as important as physically practicing a sport. When you can see the end goal, um, that's just like a primer to do well.
And so what about like anxiety? I've heard people who have phobias,
Yeah.
things like that. I mean, I would
Oh,
imagine
yeah.
this would be something that would be an amazing tool for that. Tell me, do you work with anybody in that regard?
Yes, I helped a lady who had this crippling fear of insects. She could not figure out why, if she saw an insect, she would drop anything that she was holding. And I regressed her back to when she was 6 years old. She went back to a scene when she was 6, and she remembered during the scene, during the hypnosis session, that her mother said to her, "Oh, be careful for that centipede," and then she would run into her mother's arms and felt comfort that way. Her mom, now as an adult, passed away, and that was her way of connecting with her mom. She was missing her mom so much, and she didn't realize that that was why she was holding on to that fear. It was her way of connecting with her mom. So she released it. She told me later, right after she left her session, when she went outside, she could hear the crickets and she could hear sounds of night and nature, and she was no longer afraid. And she realized that she had never really heard those sounds before. She was blocking out all of those sounds, and she said colors seemed more vivid and sounds seemed more clear, and it was amazing, the world that opened up for her when she released her fear.
Oh, that's amazing. Amazing. So, Canary, can you kind of give us a feel of what a session experience is like with you?
Sure. So it's very relaxing, and I can do my sessions over Zoom or in person. Basically, the person just needs to be able to recline and be comfortable. And what I will do is have them breathe a certain way to put them into hypnosis. And when they're under hypnosis, they are completely aware of everything I'm saying, of everything that they are saying. They feel completely in control. They just feel very deeply relaxed and open. And so what I will do is they will come up with a question, in one phrase, why do you have this challenge? And we'll ask the subconscious mind, and we'll tell the subconscious mind it's ready and willing to reveal to you why. The subconscious mind knows. And I bring them back to 3 scenes that have all to do with the root cause. I have them reframe it and release it. And it's very powerful under hypnosis because they don't have the critical factor that their conscious mind has. So it's just very honest and open. Reframe, release. That's not me. That will never be me again. And then I go into something called parts therapy, which is role, function, purpose, and intention. All of the things that we are repeatedly doing have a purpose, and it's usually to protect us for some reason. I had a gentleman who came to me who has a very successful practice, and he wanted to exit his practice for so many years and was not able to exit. We regressed him back, and the part of him that was holding him back believed if he exited the practice and sold the practice, that he would not have a purpose any longer. So he fired that part of him and gave it a new role. So it's very empowering when you know and you thank that part. Thank you so much for trying so hard to help and protect me, to make me feel like I had a purpose. I no longer need you. I have this new role, and that role is helping me see the bigger picture to help me move on to the next step in my life so that I can fulfill my dreams and live my dream life, and will help me find another purpose. So that is my parts therapy. The part of you that has been there for so many years, holding you back, is no longer helping or protecting. It's now hindering you.
So, how long is a session with you then?
It's about an hour and a half.
Okay. All right. Wow. You got to do a lot in an hour and a half. It's amazing.
And I do some healing at the end. It doesn't matter if you had a bad childhood or a good childhood. Most people long to hear something more. when they were growing up, more words of encouragement, or right now as an adult, they are battling that inner critic. We're extremely hard on ourselves. We expect perfection and we beat ourselves up all day long. So I teach people how to be nice to themselves by imagining that they're meeting their younger selves and bringing their younger selves into their current day life. It's called upgrading the child. And then that's how people learn to be nicer to themselves, to accept themselves, to not be too
Critical of themselves. Yeah.
Yes.
I also know you're so devoted to working with your clients and their success. You're always so great. People have told me that you've checked in with them after sessions. So it's not just a one and done thing. You reconnect with them 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks out just to be sure that they're having the sustained shift that they were looking for. So I think that's wonderful. All right. I have a fun question for you.
Sure.
So I always feel like there are these trends. So tell me, does that happen? Like, do you see patterns or trends in certain times? Like, is there something that you're seeing now? Like, for instance, let's say everyone's got a fear of flying right now. I mean, I don't know. What is it? I mean, is there something that you're seeing just happen to be coming forward? I'm curious. This is a fun question.
Yes. So towards the end of the summer, I have had so many clients come to me about love. My favorite is someone came to me at the beginning of August. He just didn't know why he was attracting women who weren't available to him or didn't like him, or they said that he came off needy and he was just chasing them. And this was a very kind, hardworking, good-looking gentleman, and he just couldn't seem to get a date, and he felt very down on himself about it. He felt a little hopeless because he really wanted to have to be in love and to have love. And now, 2 months later, I asked him if he wanted to join my friend's dating site. And he told me he didn't think he had the time because there's so many women approaching him now. He says he has the kavorka. And I looked it up, and it means the lure of the animal. And he said, I don't know what it is, but all of these people are so attracted to me and just approaching me, all these women. And I don't think I'd have time to join a dating site. And a lot of people, they don't believe that a good relationship is available to them. They don't believe love, they can actually have the love of their life, and that, all men cheat, all women cheat, all always just get hurt. What is the point? So I've had 5 people in the last 3 weeks come to me about relationships. So that is definitely the trend. And what I've given them is the same this script, and my script has this extra confidence, and it also has this this part in it that says you have this magnetic field around you, and you're just attracting people to you because you're so light and you're so happy and so confident in yourself, and you're just radiating this love, and people are now attracted to you because they want to know, what does this person have? And they're just light and happy. And I want to get to know this person, and I just want to hang out with them, and they become more attracted to you. So that helped my my client from a couple months ago. And now he doesn't have time.
I love it. That's vibration in action. It's like,
yes,
like attracts like. So if you're in that mode, you're going to attract people that are in that mode. If you're feeling ugh, you're going to attract people that are feeling ugh.
And then it's so powerful because, we get to the root of why you feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's some of them are so random. I was in school. I liked this girl and she liked my friend instead in the first grade. I felt so rejected. Or I like this boy and he didn't feel the same way about me. And I just felt like I'll never, and it was 5 years old, 6 years, 15 years old. It doesn't matter. Right. They're still carrying it with them when they are 20, 30, 40, 50, believing that that's just not available to me.
And the greatest thing about it is they don't have to anymore, right? They don't have to anymore, which is great. And so what about other parts of relationships? Tell me a little bit about what else you help people with.
Yes. So I help people when they're just going through a breakup, when they're at the end of a relationship. It's a very painful time. When a relationship ends, you're in tremendous pain. You feel betrayed. You can feel worthless, you feel lonely, and you feel like you'll never find love again. It's just a time of despair. It doesn't have to last forever, though. Where food doesn't taste good, music doesn't sound good. The things that normally bring you joy just don't bring you that happiness and joy. And you have to live with yourself and your thoughts and these painful feelings, because hypnosis can help you reverse the feelings of low self-worth and really see yourself for who you are. And you can snap back into place and feel human again much sooner than what people say after a breakup.
So do you mean that people don't have to go through months or even years of sadness after an end of a relationship?
That's exactly what I mean. No, they don't have to go through months and years of grieving and the feeling of loss, because it's all in your mind. You're tying your self-worth and this pain and what you tell yourself all day long because of a relationship that has broken up is affecting you.
Wow. Wow. That's fantastic. You're like a miracle worker. That's great. So tell me how our listeners, if they're interested in connecting with you, you were really generous in offering this. You do this great free consultation. So tell me a little bit about that. If any of our listeners want to connect with
Sure.
you.
They can just go right to my website, alohawellness.life, and go right to my calendar and book a complimentary consultation where I'll ask them what they're struggling with, and then I will give them a strategy session and multiple tips to walk away with and an ebook. I just really want to help people. And if they think that we'll be able to do it with just the strategy tips, that's great. And then if they think that they may benefit from a session, I'm happy to give them a session also.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. So, okay, great. And I will also leave that contact information in the show notes as well. So people can be sure to find you. Again, that's Kannary Keo, and that's Aloha
Wellness.life.
Life.
Yes.
Wonderful. Kannary, I'm so grateful for you and all the beautiful work that you've done. I always think that our journeys always lead us to the place where we can help others and serve others. And it sounds very much like your life experience has prepared you to help others in this really special and beautiful way. So I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you.
I must admit, before meeting Kannary, I didn't realize how powerful hypnotherapy is. But it makes a lot of sense to me. We have all these experiences in our lives, and they are stored, some consciously, but many subconsciously. And though they remain hidden from us, they affect our beliefs in persuasive and often destructive ways. As highly functioning humans, we just live with it, unaware of what is at the root of our behavior or attitudes about things, or even that there is anything at the root. Our inability to be at the weight we want, the quality of our relationships with family, partners, or friends, the walls we might repeatedly hit with careers or our businesses, phobias of flying or heights, big crowds or tight spaces. When there's a pattern, something that happens repeatedly, it's likely grounded in something we've experienced. I used to think that it had to be a traumatic experience that was repressed. I've come to learn that they can be one thing someone said, even in passing, that stuck with you, informing and shaping your outlook. I had the benefit of experiencing a session with Kannary. I really enjoyed it. I was completely aware of what was happening. It was as if I was in a deep meditation having a conversation. It was peaceful and eye-opening. And Kannary has this soothing, warm presence and voice that puts you immediately at ease. If you're even the slightest bit curious, schedule a complimentary 30-minute session with her. I think it's just so interesting. We are all meant to live joyfully and shine brightly, but there can be times when we are having difficulty being our most joyful, glowy selves. There are so many fascinating and effective tools available to us to get us back on track, and I think this is one of them. I hope you enjoyed learning about it. I know I did. Isn't it remarkable how our life experiences have a funny way of leading us to where we're meant to be? This certainly has been the case for Kannary, but trust that it's a case for all of us. You included. You'll see. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and share it so that others can benefit from it too. Here's to you and your beautiful bright light. Until next time, take it easy.